guys, it's Olivia and welcome back to Live in Literature. Thank you so much for all the love and support I received in my last video, and if you've not seen it yet, feel free to head on over to my channel to check it out. Well guys, I am so excited for today's video. As you see from the title, this is one of my all-time favorite book topics to talk about. And sometimes in the book world, we get a little bit specific with our tropes. We like to talk about specific tropes. There are the classic ones, the classic tropes that always work, that always ring true in a book, that will always speak true to me. And one of the classic tropes that I absolutely love and cannot even begin to describe how much I love with all of my heart is the book trope, the My Wife book trope. Just any time that a male character or that the main character is calling to the female character and saying, my wife, or that's my wife, or get your hands off my wife. The My Wife trope goes crazy. First of all, it's an extremely powerful statement, okay?
If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, like, I honestly feel bad for you. Like, I cannot explain it. Like,
it's a statement that is, it reeks of possession. It reeks of intrigue. It reeks of sex. And it reeks of just like, I own you. You are my wife. We are together, okay? And listen, people are going to be like a little bit concerned there in the comments being like, Olivia, you're the possessive obsessive, kind of scary. No, okay? We're not doing scary today, okay? Possessive obsessive in books, so good. Is everything. Want more of it, let's have more of it. Like, the more obsessed and possessive you are in a book, the hotter you are, okay? The more tortured and hotter you are as a main male character, okay? MMC, all right? So I absolutely live for the My Wife trope. I think it is a standard, it's a level of excellence in reading that like you just don't see all the time, okay? It's beautiful, it's delightful, and it creates for some amazing books. Now, I have some recommendations for you today with this trope, but also some books, like I'm gonna give you some with the actual lines because I don't wanna spoil all of the book, obviously, because that would ruin things. And I'm not gonna tell you all the characters' names either because that would also ruin things. I want you to be surprised, but I want you to get a little taste for some of the lines. So some of them I am gonna be going over the lines, like reading them from the book, and some of them I'm not because I don't want to spoil things and whatever. If you want to know about the book, go do your own research and read it because that's why I'm recommending it today. Again, all of these books I'm going to be recommending for you today are fan-freaking-tastic. They are all 5-star reads. So one of them in here is even my 6-star read, okay? There's a 6-star read in here. I'm sure you can guess which one just from the cover photo of this video. But I am literally so excited. I live for the My Wife trope. I love the obsessive, possessive male main character. I love I love when they say that like, that's my wife or my wife. And they're like stating it to the world. They're letting them know whose they are. They own her. They own me. Okay? They own me. Like, just lock me up and take me away, officer. Okay?
Go ahead and lock me up. Arrest me, but make it sexy.
Like, I live for that kind of obsession and that kind of like raw power and raw vulnerability and like just all of it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's sexy. And I think we need more of it in our literature. But before we get into that, we are going to be going over what I just finished reading versus what I'm currently reading. Guys, y'all haven't seen it yet, but I crashed the frick out. Okay? I crashed the frick out. Okay? I finished reading Rachel Gillig's The Night in the Moth. And I bawled my freaking eyes out.
Has a man ever loved a woman as much as this man loves this woman? I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's possible for a man to love this woman as much as... I just don't think it's possible.
Okay, like I crashed out so badly. I was wailing. Like I could not get over this book. Rachel Gillig's The Night in the Moth is now my favorite read of 2025 thus far. Like, I know that the year is only halfway done. We are halfway through this year. As of right now, I'm just letting everybody know my statement. The Night in the Moth is my favorite book of 2025 as of right now. This book is phenomenal, okay? This book is incredible. Rachel Gillick has created something absolutely so beautiful and whimsical in this book. To give you a quick plot summary, we have a young woman named Sybil Delling. She is a diviner, which essentially she's a part of this group of women who are almost like nun-like, cloistered in this cathedral, in this creepy cathedral, and essentially the people come to them, pay them money, and these women divine for them. They divine dreams. They read the omens of the gods of this world. And so one day the king comes to have, he's a new king, he's a young king, comes to have his fortune divined. And Sybil divines his fortune, and she sees 5 bad omens, which is not good for the king. And when he's there, she meets a knight, and there's a knight amongst the king's group who is a heretic because he doesn't believe in the omens. He is against the omens. He thinks it's all a sham. And so obviously this very righteous believing woman and this very against believing this hateful heretic man end up, of course, clashing and falling for one another. And so the premise of the story is that the diviners in this cathedral start going missing, and Sybil seeks out this heretic's help. His name is Rory. She seeks him out and she's like, please, you're the only one who can help me find my sisters, essentially, and figure out what's going on in this kingdom. And Rory and Sybil go on this amazing journey with a bunch of other incredible characters who I cannot even begin to talk about how amazing the side characters in this book are. I love the side characters in this book. Truly some of the most well-written, well-balanced side characters ever that make this story fantastic. And Sybil and Rory's relationship, you've seen it had me in literal, like had me in the pits, like had me literally in the depths of despair.
I've decided I'm going to throw my head through a wall. It seems the only right course of action. I am going to throw my head through a wall. Seems right. That's where I'm at. Come out with this. Yep.
I've never read anything so beautiful in my whole life. This book means so much to me. This might be in my top 5 favorite things I've ever read. I think it makes it in my top 5 favorite things I've ever read. I freaking loved this book. I cannot even begin to describe how much this book means to me. And it's a 5-star read. It might even be a 6-star read. This book charts all the books I've read of this year so far. Truly unbelievable. I cannot wait for book 2 because this is a duology and it does leave you on a cliffhanger. So it's insane, by the way. And I cannot wait for book 2. It's coming out next year. And then for what I am currently reading, I just finished this one just recently, so I'm about to start Silver Elite by Danny Francis. I have seen mixed reviews for this book. This is supposed to be a dystopian kind of thing, which I haven't read a dystopian book probably since Sunders on the Reaping, but that I feel doesn't count because The Hunger Games is forever. But I haven't read a true dystopian back in the day since I was maybe 13, Divergent, and back when I read The Hunger Games the first time. It's been a while since I've read something dystopian, so I'm really interested to see what Silver Elite is like. I have heard mixed reviews from the masses. It gets positive reviews, it gets negative reviews. It's just kind of up in the air when it comes to I'm not sure really how the public is feeling about it. So I am super excited to read this one because I have heard really interesting things about it, and I'm actually really excited to read something that's a little bit outside of my comfort zone. So that is what I just finished reading versus what I'm currently reading now. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the show and talk about books with the My Wife trope. Let's get started. The first one I want to start with is one of my all-time favorite books from last year. One of the best things ever written, personally in my life, okay? And listen, y'all can hate on me for it, but I literally will never give it up. Book that gives big My Wife energy, Bride by Ali Hazelwood. If a book is going to give big My Wife energy, it's going to be Bride by Miss Ali Hazelwood, okay? It's going to be werewolf vampire arranged marriage, okay? It's going to be Misery Lark, sweet vampire woman, married to Lo Moreland, alpha male over the pack of wares, in an urban setting, by the way, in a modern setting. And Lo Moreland very much in this book is giving mafia boss energy, okay? When he's talking to Misery, he's like, that's my wife, okay? He owns her. He's like, I know she's a vampire. I know y'all don't trust her because she's a vampire and we're all werewolves, but y'all have to get on her level, okay? She is a respected woman. She has never done anything wrong, and we have to treat her as such. And Misery and Lo have such an incredible dynamic, and the spice in this goes so crazy. It's amazing. It drives me up a literal wall.
I took her to my penthouse and I jerked it. That's how I feel.
I love Lo Moreland because he is so like about his woman. He's so about his person. He is like, he will protect her. He will guard her with his whole heart and his whole might. And he just knows that like, this is my person and like, she's my wife and it was an arranged marriage, but guess what? Like we are together. Like I'm going to protect her and I will keep her safe like in this area. And it is just, it's very like sexy, like mafia energy, which like I absolutely live for. I just am like living for the mafia energy these days. And I just feel like Lo Moreland gives big my wife energy in this book.
Novel definitely exudes big dick energy.
So please read Bride by L.A. Hazelwood. The second one in this series, like in this little series, is coming out in October. It's called Mate. I'm so excited. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. The next one I want to talk about is last year's like biggest gripe, the book that everyone was going crazy for last year. Everyone was going nuts over this book. I have many controversial opinions about this book and this author, but we have Night Bane by Alex Astor. This is the second book in the Lightlark series. There's going to be a fourth book, I think, released this summer for Lightlark. I think there's going to be 2 books released, actually. And I have a lot of thoughts about Alex Astor, okay? I'm not her biggest fan. To be honest, she drives me up a freaking wall. After Skyshade came out in December, I was freaking pissed at her because I was just like, you need to quit your day job and go back to it because you need to go back to the drawing board because your writing has gotten so much worse. And I'll be honest, like, I liked Lightlark. I loved Nightbane. And then Skyshade pissed me the frick off. It was so bad. That was the biggest disappointment of last year. That book was my biggest letdown of 2024 was Skyshade. Because I was so excited because of the way that this one ends. I was so looking forward to Skyshade. And it was just such a big, like, piece of steaming garbage, okay?
Hey, who ordered the poo-poo platter?
It was so bad. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Nightbane. Nightbane is the second book in the Lightlark series. And so essentially in this one, because if you remember from, I don't know if you haven't read Lightlark, essentially it's about, there's 6 like rulers on each of the 6 kingdoms on this island of Lightlark. And they are all coming to compete in a competition to see who's going to control like all of the magic essentially. And you meet Isla and you meet all the other characters in this book and like things go down. At the very end of it, she ends up essentially like being married to or she ends up getting married or whatever. She ends up getting like engaged or dating the king of Lightlark. But then in Nightbane, things start unraveling. Like she realizes that there are pieces of her memory that are missing, and those have to do with the king of Nightshade, Grimm. Oh, I love Grimm. I love Grimm. He's so good. Grimm is so like,
Renee, you were so right. He is so baby girl.
I know, that's what I said. He's so baby girl.
Me, I'm a baby girl.
possessive, obsessive, jealousy, boyfriend energy, and it's like so hot. And so this whole book is like, she's like, her mind is like unraveling and she's having all these memories with Grimm that she didn't realize she had. And at the very end of the book, I'm not going to tell you, okay? I'm not going to say who's saying the line, but I am going to read it to you. Oh my gosh, it's so sexy. So it's like, it's a very dangerous situation. She's like, get away from me, she screamed. She tried to step away, but someone, I'm not going to say who, took her hand. Let me go. She understood now how it was even a possibility that she might kill him. Just by proximity to her, he was in danger. She had no control of her emotions, of her power. She would kill him. One day she would be overcome with emotion. She would lose control yet again and she would kill him. She saw it so clearly now. And then, let me go, she bellowed, her voice thick with tears falling in her mouth. She tried to wrestle herself away from him but didn't budge. He didn't understand. He didn't know how much danger that she was to him. And so-and-so's voice seemed to rumble the world as he said, let go of my wife. There it was, the final missing piece. It's like, let go of my wife. Oh my gosh, it's so hot.
Yeah! I'm literally like eating it up. Like it's.
And now I'm not going to reveal who was saying such lines in this book because I don't want to spoil it. But that, so hot. So hot, okay? Let go of my wife. Oh, it's so good. It's amazing. I like couldn't even believe it. And I just like absolutely live for that. I loved Nightbane. Nightbane was such a fun read after reading Lightlark. And then Skyshade was so annoying that it made me want to pull my hair out. So again, with Alex Astor, you're taking a risk because let's be real, the writing's not very great, but you are going to get somewhat of an interesting story. It might not make sense all of the time, but like you're having a good time, especially in Nightbane. Nightbane, you're always going to be having a good time. But again, I love Nightbane because this book gives big My Wife energy and absolutely the hottest ever. Listen, but when it comes to Team Oro or Team Grimm, we know where I stand. I am Team Grimm all the fetching way. It's not even a competition for me. It's always going to be Team Grimm. So, y'all can choose to stand with me and love Nightbane, or you can leave. But I'm telling you right now, this man gives big My Wife energy. Next, we have the second book in one of my most favorite series. We are going to be talking about the Crowns of Nyaxia series. I haven't stopped talking about Carissa Broadbent recently. I'm so sorry about that, but I just refuse to stop talking about one of my most favorite authors. We are talking about Ashes and the Star-Cursed King from the Crowns of Nyaxia series, which is Serpents and the Wings of Night. So this is the second book in that series. And this book just also gives very big, like, My Wife energy. There is an arranged marriage that is happening in this book. It's almost like a political arranged marriage / like forced arranged marriage in a way. Like, it's like, this is like almost a forced situation where like, he's essentially saying like, because it's dangerous, like we need to get married essentially. And she very reluctantly agrees, even though she doesn't trust him at all. And so this book, the whole book is between Rain and Araya and like their reluctance to like, they're trying to learn how to trust each other again after things went down in Serpents and the Wings of Night. And so I am like absolutely living for this book. It is so hot. It is so beautiful. Rain is like one of my most favorite like fictional men ever. I mean, he's got the wings, he's got the hair, he's got the bod, and like he reeks of loyalty and like sweetness and just like softness. And he's hot and sexy and so fun. And I love him so much. And he really also gives big, like, My Wife energy in this book. Like, he's really, like, out here just, like, slaying things, like, wanting to be the best person and the best version of himself for Araya, which, like, I absolutely live for. It breaks my freaking heart, the things that they've had to go through. And truly, like, this man would do anything for this woman. And that's really what it's all about, okay? It's finding men who would die for women, okay? Finding men who love women. And that's him. That is Rain. And he is a good one. And I absolutely love him. And this book is absolutely incredible. Cannot recommend Serpents and the Wings of Night enough. It is truly a life-changing series and that everyone needs to read. Now, we have one of my new favorite books that I literally just finished reading. And guess what? It happens to have the My Wife trope in it. We have Shield of Sparrows by Devin Perry. As you know, I gave a review last week in my what I'm currently reading versus what I just finished reading. And I finished reading Devin Perry's Shield of Sparrows. This book was phenomenal. I absolutely loved it. I thought there's no way that there's gonna be a fantasy book better than this one that's been written this year. And then I read Night and the Moth and I said, just kidding. That one I think is better, but they're both 5-star rates. Like, absolutely incredible. I do love this book. This book is fantastic. I love it. This one's also an arranged marriage trope, which, like, again, always giving big My Wife energy. When you have an arranged marriage trope. So essentially, Princess Odessa is on a kingdom of Quentis, and the Turin soldiers and king come to, or prince or whatever, come to Quentis to essentially get the bride. And Odessa's sister is the one, her younger sister is the one who's been trained all her life to essentially go and, like, map out and get the layout of the Turin kingdom and like figure out what's going on. And she's like been trained as an assassin her whole life, and Odessa's just always been kind of like shoved to the side, like kind of a nobody, like nobody cares about her, always put away. And when the prince shows up, he essentially selects her and he's like, I want her for my bride, not the younger sister. And they're like, well, you can't do that. And he's like, well, I get to kind of do whatever I want because I'm a prince. And so he takes Odessa, forces her to marry him. They have an arranged marriage, and she gets taken to the Turin kingdom. And Odessa's in this new land with all these new people, and she's learning all these new customs. And she meets the king's like head knight. His name is the Guardian. And the Guardian and her hate each other. There's like a big clash between them, and they have so much like animosity towards one another. And she essentially like is trying to figure out her way through like the Turin lifestyle, and she and the Guardian are becoming closer, but then she has this relationship with the prince, and it's like very confusing and very fun. There's a lot of political stuff going on in this book. It is very entertaining. And at the final hour, at the final hour, guys, I'm not gonna say who's saying what, okay? I'm just gonna read the lines, okay? Giving very BDE energy, okay? Giving very BDE energy. And he says, okay, yes, sir. He nodded as I strode past him for the gates. Where are you going? So-and-so called. I kept walking to find my wife. To find my wife. Oh, it's so romantic. He's gonna go find his wife. It's so romantic and so hot.
Give me them napkins, quick!
What on earth for?
I swear I'm sweating like a sinner in church.
Oh, I just love it so much. Very big my wife energy, very big possessive energy. I just like live for Shield of Sparrows. It's so romantic. And so I cannot recommend this one enough. This one is absolutely so beautiful. I cannot wait for the next book in this series. It's going to be so hot. And everyone needs to read Shield of Sparrows. Truly a beautiful, beautiful fantasy book. This is a heavy fantasy romance subplot book, which I absolutely love and I feel like we need more of in these trying times. So please get on board with Shield of Sparrows. Okay, guys, this last one, I'm literally gonna start bawling my eyes out. I'm also on my period, so that would also make sense if I was gonna bawl my eyes out. But literally, guys, we are talking about probably my most favorite book. This is my favorite book in the Throne of Glass series. Listen, I love SJM so flippin' much, and I love this book so flippin' much. And that is the 5th book, Empire of Storms by SJM. Okay, this is Empire of Storms. This is my favorite book in the Throne of Glass series. I love this one and Kingdom of Ash like equally. Like they're both my favorite, like the last one and this one. But this one, for some reason, for me, is the most jaw-dropping thing I've ever read in my entire life. It's truly a masterpiece in fantasy writing. And no book ever in their entire life ever gives bigger my wife energy than this book. Okay? The last passages of this book are too beautiful. It's, of course, my favorite. You know him, you love him. It's Daddy Rowan Whitethorn, okay? And there was pure panic too. Pure panic as Whitethorn saw the blood, the scattered blades in the shirt, and said, where is she? What had he done? What had he done? Pain sliced Lorcan's neck. Warm blood dribbled down his throat and chest. Rowan hissed, where is my wife? Lorcan swayed where he knelt. Wife? Wife? Oh, gods, Iliad sobbed as she overheard the words carrying the sound of Lorcan's own fractured heart. And for the first time in centuries, Lorcan wept. He wept for the first time in centuries. The man wept. And Rowan says, where is she? Where is my wife?
Where is my wife?
There is nothing, I kid you not, more palpable, more real, more raw, more gritty than that. There's nothing. There's nothing better in this world. And once you understand the subtext and the context of this moment, it's truly like unmatched. It is unmatched. It gives the biggest where is my wife energy. And I love this book for that reason. I love him for that reason, Mr. Rowan Whitethorn. That's why I own so much merch with his name on it, because I love him more than I love anyone. And I just absolutely love the trope, and I think it's so beautiful. And this book, I feel like, captures it in the most prominent, best way possible. No book has ever done that trope better than this book has done that trope. Without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, Empire of Storms will always be that girl for that book. So y'all have to understand, where is my wife? The My Wife trope is owned by Rowan freaking Whitethorn, my husband, okay? It is owned by the man, and he owns it in this freaking book. And this is one of the greatest books of all time. So you guys have got to read Throne of Glass. Oh my freaking gosh, do I have to say it every week? Please just read Throne of Glass. So that is all the books with the My Wife trope that I want to recommend for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Live in Literature YouTube channel. Guys, if there's any video ideas that you guys want to see this summer, please feel free to comment them down below. And if you have not already, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. I love you guys the most. You guys are literally the best ever. I am loving you. I am loving summer, and I'm loving the reading this summer. I hope you guys have an amazing time. Love you guys the most, and I'll catch up with you later. Bye.